So we will look first at when to use the word at, and the first situation is when we want to talk about a specific point or place. For example, so here we have some stairs, and so we can say this is at the top of the stairs, and this is at the bottom of the stairs. Okay. Another example would be here we would say the cat is at the window. Okay. So again, window, this is a specific point or place. And some other examples would be, we can say at the door. So if somebody is at the door, or at the end of the street, for example, etc. So the first use is we can use the word at for a specific point or place. Okay. And we can also use the word at to talk about an exact address. An exact address is when we know the name of the street and also the number of the street. For example, he lives at 55 Oxford Street. So we know the number of the street, 55, and we know the name of the street, Oxford Street, and so we use the word at. He lives at 55 Oxford Street. But if we do not know the exact address, if we do not know the number of the street, then we do not use the word at. Okay, so here we do not know the number of the street, so we do not say at Oxford Street. We must say he lives on Oxford Street. Okay, he lives on Oxford Street, and he lives at 55 Oxford Street. That is the exact address. And another use of at is events. For example, at a party, at a conference. So this is a photograph of a conference. So we can say, this man, he is at a conference. At a meeting, or at a concert. Okay, so all of these are events. And so for an event, if somebody is going to an event, we say they are at a party, or they are at a concert. And also, when we are discussing the building where an event happens or an activity takes place, we also use the word at. So we can say at the cinema. So there's the cinema. So we can say, for example, Andrew is at the cinema, or at the library, at the town hall, at the police station, etc. So these are buildings in which there is an event or activity, and so we use the word at. Okay, and we also use the word at when somebody is at somebody's house. So, for example, he is at Andrew's house. She lives at her parents' house. Okay, so when we are talking about somebody's house, we always use the word at. And we also use the word at for a stop on a journey, like a break on a journey. Okay. For example, we stopped at a nice village. The train to Manchester stops at Birmingham. Okay. At Birmingham. So this is the only time when we are talking about towns and cities. This is the only time that we use the word at. Okay, and we will see the other preposition that we use for towns and cities later in the lesson. Okay, so this is the only time we use the word at for a city. And finally, for the word at, we also have some expressions. So there are no rules for these. You must just learn them. Okay? So he is at school, at home, at university, at work, at reception, at church. There is obviously a photograph of the church. And if you notice, for all of these expressions, we do not use the word the. Okay? So, for example, we do not say he is at the school. Okay, so the general rule is that these are expressions and we do not use the word the. Okay, so for all of these expressions, we use the word at to describe where somebody is. Now let's look at the word on. Well, the main use is when something is on a surface. So, for example, on the wall. And this is an example here. For example, we can say there is some graffiti on the wall. Or we could say there is a photograph on the wall. And we can also say on the ceiling, on the floor, on the blackboard, on the table, on the page, etc. So you can see all of these examples, they are all surfaces, either horizontal surfaces or vertical surfaces. And we always use the word on. Okay, and now let's look at number 2. So if something is attached to something else, we use the word on. So, for example, she is wearing a ring on her finger. So there we have a photograph. So there is her finger. There is the ring. The ring is attached to her finger, and so we say she is wearing a ring on her finger. And another example, there are 3 apples on the tree. So the apples are attached to the tree, so we use the word on, etc. We also use the word on when we are talking about something which is close to the coast, or a river, or a road. So, for example, Brighton is a town on the south coast of England. London is on the River Thames. So, for example, here is London, the city of London, and London is next to a river called the River Thames. But we do not say next to the river, we say London is on the River Thames, because it is a river. So a town is on a river, and that means it is next to the river. And again, we can say he lives on Oxford Street. Okay, and we saw this earlier, in fact. So when we are talking about a road or a street, and we do not know the exact address, we only know the person and the street name, then we use the word on, etc. And we also have some expressions for the word on. On a farm, on the left, or on the right. And in a building which has several levels, the levels are called floors, and we use the word on. So we say Mark lives on the ground floor, Sarah lives on the first floor, and David lives on the second floor. On the radio, so for example, if there is a song on the radio. On television, for example, here we say there is a film on television. And we also say on a ship. There are a few other expressions, but those are the most important ones. And now let's look at the word in. So in we use for an enclosed space or a large place which has boundaries around it. Example, in the bag, in the bedroom. We can say the bed is in the bedroom. In the forest. So this forest is a place which has boundaries. So David is playing in the forest. In the garden. In the car park. And so we can say, for example, this car is in the car park. Okay, so we use the word in. We do not say at the car park or on the car park. We say in the car park. In the desert, etc. And this is a very important one. This is very common. So we use the word in when we are talking about towns or cities. So he lives in Manchester. Okay. We do not say he lives at Manchester. We say he lives in Manchester. Andrew is in the village. They are in London to visit Tower Bridge. So here is Tower Bridge, which is in London. So this is very important. Towns or cities, we use the word in, etc. And finally, there are some expressions again for the word in. In the newspaper. So we say, I read an article in the newspaper. In bed. So the girl is in bed. In hospital. In prison. In the sky. So the aeroplane is in the sky. In a photograph. There is a photograph of my parents. My parents are in the photograph. And if we are talking about an armchair, we say that we sit in an armchair. But if it is a normal chair or a stool, we say we sit on a chair or we sit on a stool. So in is an exception for armchair. Notice that some of these we do not use the word the. So we say in bed. We do not say in the bed. We do not say in the hospital. We say, for example, my father is ill. He is in hospital. We do not say he is in the hospital. Again, since these are expressions, you must learn. There is no rule, in fact. You must just learn them. Okay, there is no choice. And in the water or in the sea. So the children are playing in the water, in the sea. Okay?
Here is a living room. Let's have a look around. The apple is in the bowl. The bowl is on the table. The ball is under the table. The clock is above the plant. The table is behind the chair. The curtains are in front of the window. The picture is next to the window. The window is between the picture and the clock. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to rate and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Where is the cat? The cat is in the box. In the box. Where is the cat? The cat is behind the box. Behind the box. Where is the cat? The cat is next to the box. Next to the box. Where is the cat? The cat is on the table. On the table. Where is the cat? The cat is under the table. Under the table.
So, as a preposition of time, by means before a specific time. By shows a time limit for something to happen. So, an event must happen before a specific time is reached. Example: please deliver the parcels by Monday. By Monday. So Monday is the specific time, and this means we are asking someone to deliver the parcels before Monday, before the specific time. Jane would like to lose 3 kilograms by June. So this means that she would like to lose 3 kilograms before June. So June is the specific time, and the preposition by means before. Okay? More examples. We often use by for deadlines. A deadline is a date or time before which something must happen or something must be delivered. Example: all job applications must be received by the 15th of July. So the 15th of July, this is the specific time, this is the deadline, and job applications must be received before the 15th of July. Okay? And we often use by to say when someone will return. Example: Mark says, "Where is Jane?" And David replies, "She is in London. She will be back by Saturday." She will be back by Saturday. This means she will come back before Saturday. So maybe Friday, maybe Thursday, maybe even during the day on Saturday itself. Okay, so to be back or will be back means someone will return. It's a very common and useful expression. By then. We use the expression by then to mean before a specific time that we have already mentioned. So perhaps we have already mentioned a specific time in a previous sentence. Example: tomorrow is the last day of school. You must finish all the exercises by then. So here is the specific time, and it is in the first sentence. It is the word tomorrow. And here is the expression by then. So this is referring to tomorrow. So this means you must finish all the exercises by tomorrow. Okay? By then. The TV show starts at 9 p.m. So please brush your teeth by then. So this means please brush your teeth before 9 p.m. But since we have already mentioned the specific time here, then we use by then. Until. This is a different preposition of time. Until describes a continuous action that stops at a specific time. So the important word here is continuous. Until describes the duration of an action before a specific time. Example: I'm staying in New York until Friday. I'm staying in New York until Friday. So this means, for example, perhaps today is Monday and I am in New York. So it means I will be in New York today, tomorrow, and every day until Friday. And then Friday, I will leave New York. Mark lived in Paris until 2010. So this time we are using the past tense. So this means in the past, Mark lived in Paris until 2010. So in 2010, perhaps he moved. He stopped living in Paris and he lived somewhere else. So it is the duration. The children are tired. Last night they watched cartoons until 10 p.m. Until 10 p.m. So this is the specific time. Okay? till, T-I-L-L. Well, we can use till instead of until. The meaning is the same, exactly the same. But till is more informal. It's very common in spoken English. Example, I'm going to read till 9 o'clock. So this is correct. Or, I am going to read until 9 o'clock. This is also correct. And the meaning is exactly the same. Be careful of the spelling. Until has one L, one letter L. And till has two letter L's. Okay, so just be careful. From, until. So from plus a specific time indicates the start time of an event. And until plus a specific time indicates the end time of an event. Example. So a shop is now closed. So we can say the shop will be closed from 7 p.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow. So between this time and this time, the shop is closed. So the start time of the shop being closed is 7 p.m. and the end time of the shop being closed is 8 a.m. tomorrow. Okay? And so we use until like this in both British English and American English. But American English, they also have a different way of saying this. Now this is only American English. The shop will be closed from 7 p.m. through 8 a.m. tomorrow. Through 8 a.m. tomorrow. And this is only American English. So the Americans use the word through to mean until. Okay? But this is, we do not really use this in British English. Okay? When not to use until. These are some common mistakes, often by speakers of other European languages, perhaps French or Spanish or Italian. So in English, we do not use until to describe numbers or a quantity. Example. The tram can take until 50 passengers. In English, this is wrong. Okay? This is correct in some other languages, but in English, this is wrong. Instead, we use up to. Example. The tram can take up to 50 passengers. So this is correct. Another example is, you may take the accounting exam until 3 times. In English, this is wrong. The correct version is, you may take the accounting exam up to 3 times. Up to 3 times. Okay? So for numbers, a quantity, frequency, we use up to. Quiz. I've got a question for you. Here are 2 sentences. I will be rich by 2020. And I will be rich until 2020. So both of these sentences are grammatically correct. Okay, so this is correct and this is correct. But the meaning is very different. And so my question is, what is the difference in meaning? So here we are. This sentence, it means that in the present, I am not rich. So at the moment, currently, I am not rich. But I predict that I will be rich before 2020. So it is perhaps my objective to be rich before 2020. I would like to be rich before 2020, but now I am not rich. But this sentence is different. In the present, I am already rich. Now I am rich. And I will continue to be rich between now and 2020. However, after 2020, I will no longer be rich. I will be poor, perhaps. So you can see the the two sentences, the meaning is very different. So this is a very good example of the difference between by and until. It's a very good example to show the difference. Okay?
English prepositions: in, inside, into, and within, from espressoenglish.net. In and inside are often the same. For example, you can say, "We are in the house," or "We are inside the house." "The clothes are in the closet," or "The clothes are inside the closet." Both in and inside are correct in these sentences. The word inside implies that the thing is physically enclosed. It is in a container, like a box, a vehicle, a building with walls, etc. This means that when talking about location, time, being included, or other situations where you are not physically surrounded, you should use in, not inside. For example, I live in Australia. My anniversary is in July. He plays guitar in a band. Into implies movement or transformation. For example, she jumped into the swimming pool. We went into the house. The car crashed into a telephone pole. The caterpillar turned into a butterfly. In all of these sentences, something is moving or being transformed. With some verbs, you can use either into or in. For example, he put the card into his pocket, or in his pocket. I threw the paper cup into the trash, or in the trash. She lost her balance and fell into the river, or in the river. Within means inside the limits. These are non-physical limits like time, distance, or an area of influence. For example, the results will be delivered within 14 days. Most car accidents occur within 5 miles of home. There are many brilliant people within this profession. Because the limits are non-physical, we use within and not inside. We can also use in these sentences. We also have some expressions using within. Within earshot means at a distance where you can hear something, such as a conversation. Within reason means to the degree that good judgment would allow. Within reach and within one's grasp have two meanings. One is literally able to be taken with your hand, and the other meaning is able to be accomplished.
How well do you know your English prepositions? Take this quiz to find out. I'll show you a sentence with 3 options for the preposition. Try to choose the right one, and I'll show you the answer after 5 seconds. There are 15 questions in this quiz. Number 1. He gave the presentation, although, despite, or during being ill. The correct answer is despite. He gave the presentation despite being ill. Number 2. I can't drink coffee throughout, within, or without sugar. It's too bitter. The correct answer is without. I can't drink coffee without sugar. It's too bitter. Number 3. I got all the questions right, among, beside, or except the last one. The correct answer is except. I got all the questions right except the last one. Number 4. I want to snack on something salty, as, by, or like potato chips. The correct answer is like. I want to snack on something salty, like potato chips. Number 5. My house is across, close, or near the university. The correct answer is near. My house is near the university. Number 6. Our plans will depend of, on, or with the weather. The correct answer is on. Our plans will depend on the weather. Number 7. She's been to, above, beyond, or over 50 countries. The correct answer is over. She's been to over 50 countries. Number 8. The fabric costs $20 by, for, or per meter. The correct answer is per. The fabric costs $20 per meter. Number 9. The figurine fell away, off, or out the shelf and smashed on the floor. The correct answer is off. The figurine fell off the shelf and smashed on the floor. Number 10. There are cherry trees all along, amidst, or aside the road. The correct answer is along. There are cherry trees all along the road. Number 11. These grapes are sweeter, as, of, or than those. The correct answer is than. These grapes are sweeter than those. Number 12. This road will take you straight in, into, or onto the city center. The correct answer is into. This road will take you straight into the city center. Number 13. We must mail the letter by, since, or until Friday. The correct answer is by. We must mail the letter by Friday. Number 14. We watch TV for, from, or since 3 hours. The correct answer is for. We watch TV for 3 hours. Number 15. There were numerous mistakes alongside, beneath, or throughout the article? The correct answer is throughout. There were numerous mistakes throughout the article.
Welcome to Joseph Teaches English. Today's video, prepositions. And let me introduce you to our lovely model, my wife, Grace. And here I am as an animated character. Enjoy the video. In today's video, we will demonstrate several common prepositions. Ready? Grace is at the box. And now she is above the box. Grace is leaning against the box. Grace is now among the boxes. Grace runs past the box. Now she runs toward the box. Grace is in front of the box. And now she's behind the box. Grace is below or beneath the box. Now she's under or underneath the box. And the box is on or on top of her. Grace is now between two boxes. Grace jumps into the box. She is inside the box. Now she jumps out of the box. Therefore, she is outside of the box. Grace jumps onto the box. She is now upon or on top of the box. Grace jumps down from the box. She is now off of the box. Grace now jumps over the box. And now you know many prepositions in English. Thanks for watching. See you at the next video. Bye!